What's good, YouTube? This is Scheme Team TV, and this is part 2 of my experience at the Expo. If you didn't get a chance to see part 1, make sure you go and do that. Those of you who came back for more, I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments, all the questions, the likes and the subscribers and everything. If you followed me on Twitter at Scheme Team TV, big ups to you too. We're going to talk about everything on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to talk about all the things that were exploited in the game last year, and that includes the YY, the left-right cheese, all that stuff. So let's get right into it. The left-right cheese. Okay, so it's slower this year. I'm not going to straight up say that it's out the game, but it's part of basketball. People do turn left and they do turn right. Do they do it to an extreme extent like people do in this video game? No, not really. So not at all. Not at all. I've seen people do it 4, 5, 6 times just to get a mid-range shot with Chris Paul, and that's not realistic. We're all about realism, and that's not realistic. And we're all about sim nation basketball, sim style basketball. So this year you guys are going to be really excited because they did amp up the speed on the defensive side of the ball. That was a problem last year. The defensive side of the ball was really slow. We couldn't keep up with the offensive side, and that is not the case this year. We can actually stay with them. If they go left, we can go left. If they go right, we can go right. We can position ourselves to stop the person, even on the AI side of the ball. I'm sorry, but they actually back up when the offensive side starts doing the size ups, the 4 size ups. As soon as they start doing those size up moves, you'll see an AI back up and get ready for the crossover. That's so dope. That is so dope. So this year, the left-right cheese, sorry I got a little bit off topic there, but the left-right cheese will be stopped because LD told me himself that if you do it more than once, if you, not more than once, but if you keep doing it, over and over, maybe 2 times, you do get slower. And I did see that. You get slower and you lose the ball. You start losing your handle. So it's like, it makes no sense. And also the foot planning and the physics of the game, the foot to ground physics, it really plays a part. It makes it really realistic. When you turn your body, you're turning your body. You have to pivot your foot. There's no more just sliding on your tippy toes doing like some weird ballerina move. Like, I don't even know what the hell that is. It makes no sense. So this year they did do that. It looks realistic. It's a lot slower, but of course the faster guards are going to be able to do it a lot faster, and people will be using the superstars. But guess what? We are on the defensive side of the ball. We are using on-ball defense, and we are going to be able to stop that because we are simply faster. We can adjust and take the right angles and position ourselves to get back. We're no longer stuck after a left, right, or something. We're no longer stuck after a crossover, depending on the player that you have. Tony Allen and, the Avery Bradleys of the game, the Rondos, they're really going to stand out this year. They're no longer just a gold perimeter lockdown badge. They're way more than that. They'll do more than just counteract the other guy's badges and catch, like a steal or a loose ball or something every now and then. They do a lot more than that. They actually bother you. They get on your nerves. Klay Thompson was getting on my nerves, and it really makes you think. They really make you, think on your toes and really have to adjust, and that's what we want. We want a game that makes you think and makes it really hard for the other player, to adapt to what you're doing. We want that. That's what we want at Sim Nation, So shout out to all my Sim Nation players. If you play Sim style, big ups to you, because it's hard out here, man. It's hard. It's hard, man. But never mind all that. We're gonna get back into the video. The next thing I want to talk about is the bumping. Yes, the bumping is back. It's no longer an animation. Of course it's an animation if they put it into a video game, but it doesn't feel like you're being sucked in. It doesn't feel like pause. It doesn't feel like you're being locked into anything. You don't have to wait for the animation to finish to get into your next move. You can bounce out of it. You can step back, you can cross over, you can do a lot of stuff out of the bump. And depending on who's getting bumped, whether you have a small player or whether you have a big player like LeBron James, it's really going to affect, the way you move. LeBron is moving forward. I was moving forward with LeBron. LeBron is not getting bumped, and moving back. That's just the type of player he is. But he is getting bothered. He's being bothered, and that's what we want. We don't want him to just have an easy ride to the lane. You can go in that bump and you can try to steal off that bump and stuff like that. A smaller player is moving back. A big player is probably going to move forward most of the time. But I know for a fact LeBron LeBron James, you can see the different type of physical attributes that he has, you know, and how they look in the game. Because I was seeing LeBron, you know, just bumping, just moving forward, and it looks so good. It just looks like really aggressive, and that's what I like in the video game. I really like, you know, how aggressive it looks. All the players are really fighting for position, you know, everything looks tough, and that's dope. That's just so fire, man. That's just so fire. So let's talk about, you know, the defensive new meter that's in the game. Ronnie was telling me that it was supposed to be like a steal indicator, like when's a good time to take a steal, which does kind of sound right, but not really. It's not really that. It's basically just a meter that it's basically just a meter that shows you if you're in a good defensive position. And I got that from the Sim Hangout. They were saying that if you're in good position for the ball, then you're going to have a green light, not a green light, but it's going to show green when, you know, you're close to the ball and you're in the person's face. When you see red, that means you were no longer in the vicinity when he shot the ball, and you should probably just go jump off a building. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's a new shot meter. And let's talk about the shots and how the defense actually affects your shot. I had Steph Curry, and I swear I was like, man, why he keep doing this animation like he just shooting a fadeaway or something? Like, why does it look like I keep shooting his fadeaway? And that was basically the game telling me I'm taking a dumb shot. And that's exactly what it will do. If you take a dumb shot, it will make you fade away. It'll make you look like you're chucking up some bullshit. And I swear I love that in this game, because guess what? A lot of people last year, you know what they were doing? The left, right, and then they try to hit you with that mid-range cheese. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. But this year they gonna pay. They are gonna pay, because you just can't take a dumb shot anymore. You know, you would get hit with the left, right cheese, and then one time you actually get into their face, and they will, guess what, be hot, because they just hit 5 in a row and it didn't matter what you did. But this year they are going to chuck up some bullshit. I swear they're gonna chuck up some bullshit, and y'all gonna be loving it, because you just gonna be putting your hand in everybody's face, and they just gonna keep fading away and getting pissed off. Why do you keep making me fade away? I swear I'm gonna be hearing that all the time. Why do you keep making me fade away? I'm open. Like, that was a good shot. You know, you weren't there. Yes, I was there. You know why I was there? Because the game thought I was there. You know what I'm saying? The game, if the game thinks that you are there, they will make them put up some dumb shit. I swear they gonna put up some bullshit, but it's all good. We're gonna get into the next thing. I know you guys are gonna be really excited about that. It's gonna be really easy to play defense. You know, they actually have to be open this year. They have to be open. You have to put space in between you and the player. It's no longer you just doing a whole bunch of dribbles and then throwing up a shot, you know, because that's not realistic. You know, players don't do a bunch of combinations. They don't just do a bunch of dribbles, size ups and stuff, and then cross over, and then they just pull up with the same release every single time. No, the defensive player affects their shot. You know, people change up their shot all the time in basketball, and that's just realistic. So we talked about that enough. Let's get into the next topic, and I want to talk about sliding your feet. It just looks good. Like, it just looks good. If you go into the instant I know I talk about this all the time, but if you look into the if you go look at the instant replay and you look at your feet, you just look good. You know, the way you're sliding your feet and the way the player is moving and taking the right angles and, you know, adjusting and getting back. I mean, it just looks good. These players actually bounce after a shot. They bounce. They're bouncing on defense. They're staying on their toes. You know, they're not, you know, getting caught on their heels. You know, it looks good. And that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted a game that not only plays good, but looks good on the defensive end. We want it to be fun on the defensive side. And I'm always cool with the defensive side of the ball. I'm not just like an offensive player who wants to bang on people. You know, I like to shut people down. And if you're one of those players, then you're really going to enjoy the defensive side of the ball this year. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I do have a bunch of extra stuff that I want to talk about. Well, not a bunch, but a couple of things here and there. The My Player stuff, I'm not really big on the My Player, but I will be this year because I'm so excited about the Pro-Am and all that stuff. With that being said, LD2K didn't say this out of his mouth. He didn't tell me, you know, straight up. You know what I'm saying? This was a guesstimate from on my behalf. We were talking about the mechanics and the momentum and how the defensive side of the ball can actually play. And you know what I'm saying? Stick with the offense, and how, you know, if you have a slower or a bad defender, you're going to be affected. And I was saying out loud, like, that's probably going to affect my player. And LD2K looked at me like I just, you know, uncovered like a treasure or something, like I just found the hidden gem or something, you feel me? Like he was looking at me like I just, you know, went into his backpack and just took all his notes. Like, so he gave me that eye and pretty much told me like, hey, you on the right track, you know, you coming on to something. So I'm not 100% sure. I can't really tell you guys something solid or concrete, but I can say that I'm like 85-90% sure that if you pick a big, you know, if you pick a 6'9", you know, 6'8" small forward, or even bigger, I don't know if you can be a 7-foot small forward anymore, but if you pick one of those guys, you better put some eggs in your basket on that defensive end. Because I mean, I think there's going to be a cap or something, because just think realistically here, you know, a big guy is not going to be able to stick with a small guy if you don't have the foot speed. You know, a small guy is going to be a lot more agile than a big guy. So, you know, you probably be better off picking a guard or a point guard if you're going to get your my player to be fast, you know, to get by people and stuff like that. You know, you don't really see a lot of small forwards with the handle of Kevin Durant. You don't really see a lot of, you know, big guys who can stick with a lot of the small guys. So you guys really should just put that in your minds and embed that in your brain when you are making your my players. Don't just try to make some cheese ball. Put some eggs into that defensive rated basket. Do not just go in there and start throwing eggs into that dunk and that, you know, that cheese, that 3-point cheese, man, because everybody wants their team to be good this year, because there is leaderboards this year. There's leaderboards. We want good teams. So everybody be smart, you know, put some eggs into that defensive rated basket, and we're going to leave it at that. Okay, let's talk about the playbooks. If you use playbooks this year, they are bringing back practice plays. Yes, it's making a comeback. You guys should be excited. If you use plays, practice plays has come back. You no longer have to go to quick match, you know, and just, you know, shift through a whole bunch of playbooks and stuff and have to wait for the ball to come back onto your possession. No longer have to wait for that. You no longer have to go to practice or go to scrimmage and just pick some team that you don't want to use just because they have the playbook. You don't have to worry about that. They're making a comeback. Now, in online leagues only, they are bringing back custom playbooks. So not really bringing back, it's probably like a new feature, but it's only available on the online leagues. I am an online league guy. If you guys play online leagues, hit me up. I have a group me. We have like 8 seasons that we did so far. I went to the finals 2 years in a row, or 2 seasons in a row, and lost. I'm trying to come out with the next one, but you know, I'll get there. No worries there. But if you do like online leagues, hit me up. You know, we look for people, probably like 10 people like every season, because it's kind of hard losing and coming back, right? Like people do, you know, lose interest when they're losing, but you know me, I'm always up there, so I don't have to worry about that. But that's pretty much it, man. That's gonna wrap up the video. Those of you who didn't see part 1, make sure you go do that. If you came back here for more for part 2, I appreciate it, man. If you had comments and stuff like that and questions in the last video, I appreciate that. All my subscribers, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comment section. I will be talking and I will be replying to people in the comment section. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Scheme Team TV. You know, we'll be doing a giveaway for NBA 2K16 if I get 100 subs before 2K drops. If not, I will be doing a giveaway for something else. You know, it's a pretty big deal. I really wanted to get this channel up and off the ground, and I think it's going at a really good rate right now. But I'm gonna get out of here. Follow me on Twitter, Scheme Team TV. I will have a lot more content coming. A lot more. I want to show you guys my my online leagues and the playoffs, and I want to show you guys NBA Live and the demo and how I'm gonna do that and all that stuff. I'm not hating on Live. Shout out to Live, man. Hopefully they come out with a good game, because I really want them to put pressure on 2K. I don't want 2K to get lax. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. This is Scheme Team TV, and I'm out.